Hi everyone, it's Karen here with a new card tutorial designed for scrapbook.com to celebrate World Card Making Day. We were asked to create a card to celebrate, and what better way to celebrate than to create a happy birthday card. The links to all the products from scrapbook.com are listed below in the description area. I'm also giving away 3 $25 gift certificates to scrapbook.com, so stay tuned till the end of my video to see how you can enter. I was trying to think of an innovative idea to create these cards as I really wanted something different than what I've seen everywhere. You've also seen how I have an obsession with Turnabout stamps, and I created a video how to use them and how to create really cool techniques with them. I'm linking that video above. I really wanted to see if I could create my own Turnabout stamp using just small stamps. And since I love the Concord and 9th Turnabout stamps so much, I figured I would use some Concord and 9th stamps that are not Turnabout to see if I could do the same thing. So what I did is I took the Petals and Pallets stamp, which is a really nice flowery stamp, and I also took the Butterfly Beauty to put some flowers and some butterflies to create kind of like a beautiful garden on my card. I arranged the stamps on top of my white cardstock in the way that I wanted them, and I also added the butterflies as well. The key to the Turnabout stamp is to be able to turn the card around while the stamp stays stationary, and while you're rotating, you're changing colors so the card becomes very colorful and has the same design in all directions. It creates a design everywhere. For this to happen, you need to have a base which is marked at the bottom to know which direction to turn. I cut a 6x6 cardstock, and you can see it below. It's a gray cardstock, and I laminated this. And that's my base underneath my cardstock. Once I had arranged all my stamps, I took 4 colors from Distress Oxide ink. This is the Peacock Feathers, and I started with that color and basically inked all the stamps and then pressed on my paper. It is best to have the stamp platform when you're using this, because you can go over it again in case you didn't get enough ink on some of the stamps. Since you have so many stamps, it's really important to get a really good impression. I cleaned my peacock feathers, and then I went with my next color. But first, before you go with the next color, you have to make sure that you turn the base, which is the gray base underneath. My card, what I did with the white cardstock is I just put a little bit of tape on the back so it sticks really well to my gray laminated square, and then it doesn't move. I grabbed my next color, which is picked raspberries, and I did the exact same thing. I inked them and then presses, and you can see the pattern moves and it creates the same exact pattern that I had in a different area on the background. Then I cleaned up my color and I went in with my next color, of course first turning the background around. So now I'm going to go with the Twisted Citron, and I'm doing the exact same thing again. As you can see, some of the flowers overlap and it makes it look really good. It's great to use something like the Distress Oxide inks, because when you overlap the inks, the image still remains perfect. They are made to be overlapped and they don't damage the colors. Finally, I'm going with my last color, which is the Wild Honey, and I'm pressing again. To see how to use an actual Turnabout stamp from Concord and 9th, you can watch my video, which I linked before, and then you can watch many different techniques that you could do using these stamps. You could apply the same techniques if you're doing it this way as well. As you can see, I had some empty spaces in the outside because obviously the way I designed it is not as well designed as an actual Turnabout stamp. So what I did is I took some of my smaller stamps and I just started filling in the white spaces. So I took some of the small flowers and the butterflies and just changed between the colors and filled out the outside so it will look more even and it will be more filled. Once I was done with the flower background, I decided I wanted to create one more background with a different stamp set. And I was trying to think what would work well to create a turnabout stamp, because you can't really use anything. And I found this Art C feather set that I thought would be perfect for this. And I started applying it to my background again. It also has some arrows and different types of feathers, and since I love feathers so much, I thought this was perfect. So I did the same thing. I pressed it onto my stamp platform and then started adding the colors. So I did the same thing, and I started with the twisted citron this time, added it to my stamps and pressed. And I had to do this a couple times to really get a good impression. Then I went with my Peacock feathers color and did the same thing as I had done before, and then I went with the other two colors as well. All the products are listed in the description area below with all the links to scrapbook.com, so if you want to purchase any of these, they're listed below in the description area. As this is not a true substitute for turnabout stamps, it's just another technique to use, I did have to go with some of the arrows and fill out the edges, which were not filled out well and they were very white. So I just took them and added a few more stamped images there. Once I had both backgrounds, I wanted to assemble the card, and I really wanted to create a simple card as the background is very busy. So I took some Spellbinders, Nestabilities, labels number 4, and I ran them through my Sizzix machine to cut out stackable labels. I wanted some to be with a colorful background and some in white. Then I started stacking the labels on top of the background. I started with the largest one, which is the white. Then I went and matched up the colorful one to make sure that it fits perfectly on top of the other one and the images match. And I did the same thing in both cards. Then I took the Happy Birthday sentiment from the Butterfly Beauty stamp and put it on an acrylic block and stamped it. I wanted to emboss it onto the background, onto the smallest label, and I took some anti-static powder and then used my Versamark ink to stamp both labels, and then embossed it with super fine black embossing powder from Ranger. Once I was done assembling the card, I realized that the one with the feathers looked really empty in the background. So I took one of the feathers again from the stamp set and I started filling it in in the edges by stamping half of the feather on the edges, and I used different colors to make sure that it matched the rest of the card, and I really felt that that brought everything together. As you can see from this last step, you can see that you don't really have a great substitute for Turnabout stamps. However, if you can't buy any of them right now, you could take some of your stamp and do this technique with your own stamps and create some really cool backgrounds. The last thing I did is I took some foam tape and raised the little label in the middle, and also used the foam tape to mount the card on top of a note card. Thank you so much for joining me today and celebrating World's Card Making Day. Join many other crafters like me as they celebrate World Card Making Day on October 7th, 2017. And this whole week there'll be lots of different activities and also videos celebrating this occasion. You also have a chance to win one of 3 $25 gift certificates from scrapbook.com, kindly sponsored by them. And all you have to do is visit my website, which is linked at the end of this video or here above, and you can enter to win this giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. And please visit my website to enter the giveaway. Bye!